All right, guys. I don't normally do this. I feel like I have to start out with a bit of a disclaimer for this podcast episode. Um, and number one is because this probably is the most important podcast episode that we have ever recorded.
And two, there's some information in this podcast that might be a little controversial. It might make you think differently about how your business is set up. And
Exactly.
I want to tell you why we chose to publish this podcast nonetheless. And that is because I have a sincere belief that in order for us to make an impact, the impact we want to make, we must spread this knowledge.
Yep. And in today's discussion, we will unveil how a funnel can revolutionize your life. And if you're an entrepreneur looking to grow, excel, and just stand out in the marketplace, we have a very simple solution for you. So, first, Rocky, what is a funnel?
What is a funnel? First, I just want to say that sometimes when I, for example, tell people I'm a funnel designer, they're like, "What do you mean, funnel cakes?" I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. I love funnel cakes too, but that is not what I mean." Um, to break it down really simply, I'm gonna just kind of give an overarching example and walk you all through this. So imagine you're scrolling on Instagram and you bypass this ad that says, "Hey, you want to learn this one trick, this one simple trick that 99% of the people don't know on how to do a handstand. You know this one trick and you'll be able to do a handstand. You've never been able to do a handstand in your life. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I can't do it. I still can't do a handstand, y'all. Maybe that's embarrassing, but I can't do one. Okay. So then I click on this ad. Okay. And then there's this video on this next page, this ad I clicked on. And this guy, his name's Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched this video. I'm very captivated. And, I sit there for God knows 45 minutes and watch this entire video. And he just kind of just gives me his whole life story about how, before he learned how to handstand, he just like, wasn't taken seriously. He wasn't in shape, like, and
Mm-hmm.
how this one simple trick that he finally learned after 5 years of struggle and trial and error changed his life forever. And now he can do handstands back forwards all the ways. And I don't know. And he just keeps going on and on and on. But I keep staying because I want to know what this trick is.
Yeah.
And he never gives it to me per se,
Just a
but I
little.
feel I feel like I still got something out of that. And he says if I buy his $99 course, he reveals everything about how to be master at handstands and like how to start getting in shape through handstands. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't know about it. So I click away. I get distracted. I keep scrolling. And I get an email. And he's like, "Hey, I saw you watch my video. It's from Rob." And I'm like, "What the hell?" So I got an email and he's asking me why I didn't purchase his course.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "All right, whatever. Yeah, I'll unsubscribe to that later." The next day, he sends me this sub story about his life and this and that, and that this has like just changed everything for him. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then, eventually, couple days later, I start seeing him everywhere. He's in my Snapchat. He's all over everywhere, and I'm just like, fine. And then there's a 50% off his course. And it's only $50. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Let's see what this is about. $50. Okay, can't be that bad. But as I'm going to purchase this for $50, then I get transported to this page that talks about
Mm-hmm.
this, his he has this whole community and group coaching, and I can like coach with him personally. And it's he usually charges 5-10 grand for this, but I can join today, lifetime access for $500.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, crap. Yeah. I mean, I have been meaning to like, get in better shape. This could be really good for me. Cause he basically says, of course, everything I need to know is in this $99, now it's $50 thing. But if you actually want to be held accountable, 90% of the people get that and they don't do anything with them. Like, okay, that's fair. And it'll probably be me too.
Yeah.
So I end up buying, I'm a sucker and I end up buying this
Hey,
$500 group coaching.
you caved. You
I
caved for.
caved.
Oh man.
And yeah. That's in short what I mean. That's a funnel, guys. That's a funnel.
So
I guarantee if y'all have never built one or had one yourself, you've been caught in something like that. So yeah.
chances are you've been through a funnel before, whether you know it or not. It's most likely, more than likely, have happened. And if you've been to marketing university, you probably learn the stages of what a funnel is. They teach you there's different stages of awareness to get someone to actually purchase your product. But what we're really talking about is those steps in between that funnel, the touch points in between a funnel, between you not knowing anything about this person, you're a complete stranger, to actually buying the product, purchasing the course, hopping on a call, whatever it is. And this funnel can be used for any business out there. It can be used for SMMA, e-com, drop shipping, coaches and consultants, agencies, whatever it is, service-based businesses, brick and mortars. A funnel is useful and you can benefit from a funnel.
Yeah. Basically, if you sell anything online, you probably benefit with that by having a funnel. And yeah, you touched on how, when maybe you get a marketing degree or in university, you take a marketing class, they're going to talk about marketing funnel, a sales funnel, whatever. And they're going to say, yeah, awareness, consideration, conversion. Look,
what does that actually mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? Like as a university, maybe I hate to dog university for a second, but it's a lot of theoretical stuff. If we're being real. Like we're not getting a lot of applicable, and that's just really it. Like that. Okay, great, but like what does that look like? What does that mean? That is what we're talking about. Like what an actual sales funnel and a whole sales funnel process looks like for businesses.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah. And then my next question is like, why would a funnel be helpful to whoever's watching right now?
Yeah, that's yeah, why would a funnel yeah, you're probably like, okay, cool. So like I've been caught in a sales funnel, okay, businesses that's selling stuff online, maybe yeah, I'm selling stuff online, but like I still don't quite understand like why a funnel, like again, still I don't get it. Like why is a funnel helpful?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Okay. Um, I want to kind of start with a question to you all that maybe you're still thinking, I don't get how this is useful. What is your sales process look like right now to get people to buy your services? Like, what are you doing? Do you have like a basic website that looks like every other website since like the dawn of the internet? Or are you reaching out to people manually? Are you getting your business word of mouth? Like, what does it look like for you right now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have ads? I sure hope you're not running ads. You have no sales funnel set up. I sure hope not. I sure hope not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. What about you, Emily? Why? I want to hear why you think
Yeah.
a funnel is helpful, because there's about a million ways we can go in this topic. But yeah.
So a funnel, if you think of it like a machine that converts your clients, if you're not completely sure on, what actually, how you are converting your clients, then you may be losing out on revenue. You might be losing out on, potential clients getting in to your services, to whatever it is that you're selling. So if you aren't actually taking the steps to have a strategy in your business, then you're not running your business like a business, right? So if you want to increase your revenue, if you want to get more qualified leads, if you want to make sure that people actually show up, if you want to just capitalize on any source of traffic that you have, a funnel will allow you to strategically be able to do that.
Yeah. And if you want to build something that's scalable, you need a good ass scalable funnel.
You need
That's
a
just the truth.
badass funnel.
Yeah. You need a badass scalable system around that funnel as well.
Yeah,
Not just a
exactly.
good funnel with good sales pages, good all these good pages that you could you also need a whole strategy and system behind this funnel.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't just build a landing page and be like, yeah, I got it. You can't.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's something that I have been talking with people about. A sales funnel what we do as funnel designers isn't just focusing on those pages in between each step. We like to focus on the full end-to-end process of the sales process, that you're taking a lead from not knowing anything about you to actually converting. So if you don't have a system, a strategy in place for this funnel, then it's not really going to convert. So if you are like, I'm just going to build a funnel, I'm going to hire someone to design me a funnel, I want you to make sure that this person that you're talking to actually has a strategy that they know is going to help you to get you to where you're wanting to go, get you to 50K months, get you to 100K months. I was just talking to one of my clients today, and we were building out his funnel. And one of the key components that we work on with his funnel is the video, right? So making sure that that video actually explains exactly what it is that he does, kind of hooks people in, and basically turns cold prospects into hot, ready to buy leads, right? So it's very important we get that perfect. And I was telling him how my mentor has not changed this single video for 3 years and has still been able to scale past 100K months with it. So as long as you get this right and you get this perfect, you won't have to do it again. And so people think like, oh, funnels is such a big task. I don't want to have to take this on. My strategy's working, but I'm not really sure what my numbers are. I just think that it's important to have an actual scalable strategy to maximize on the amount of effort that you're putting in, so you can get the highest ROI of your time.
Yeah, you touched on something that I think is very, very important that everyone should really listen to, and that is a lot of people do not know what their numbers are. They don't know what their metrics are, even if they have a funnel.
Whoa, someone doesn't know what their metrics are. I'm just like, I'm shocked.
I talk to people all day long. I'm like, I hop on call with them, like, okay, yeah, what's your conversion? What's your opt-in? I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? You're not tracking that? No. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Because in order for me to do my job, if someone already has a website, they already have a funnel, and they're, maybe not getting the results they need, of course, they're coming to me and they're like, yeah, help. And I don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, what are your current? And then I start asking, trying to diagnose the problem, start getting to the idea, some idea of what's going on. But it's hard when they have literally no visual, like no clarity, no introspect to what is going on because they have no tracking set up on each of their steps of their funnel. In order for me to do my job and diagnose in that situation, that's the first thing I got to do. I got to go in there and add the data and tracking. Because then after we get some metrics back, I can be like, oh, okay, everyone's dropping off here at your opt-in page. Must be something with going, is maybe there's a glitch, maybe it's simple, maybe we need to do XYZ. Or, oh, okay, I see people are dropping off, they're about to book a call. Okay, let's figure out why they're dropping off. So there could be so many different reasons, but I will never know that if we just know, oh, they went to my site and then, yeah, I don't know what's going on over here. I'm like, yeah, I don't know either. We're going to have to do some research and figure it out and diagnose together. So
exactly.
Gotta have your numbers. Gotta know your numbers.
So important.
Business fundamentals. Know your numbers. If you're running a business and you don't know your numbers, I'm sorry, but what are you doing? Like genuinely, what are you doing? Yeah, so we're talking about data and we need to know all these metrics and right. But for people listening, like, okay, I get it, but like what am I supposed to be tracking? What is that? What are some key pointers we can give these people?
Yeah, for sure. So it's important that you track all of your funnel conversions. Whatever funnel that you have set up, just make sure that you have a very clear understanding of each step of the way of those conversions. You want to understand your email open and click-through rates. You'll want to have a really good understanding of the sales performance and your marketing campaigns, just getting a really clear understanding of those. And then the last thing would really just be on the fulfillment side. So course completion rates and just customer success overall. Those would be the main things that you want to keep track of in your funnel.
Very cool. Got it. Very cool. And while we're on the subject of this, obviously, so of course you gave more overarching answer because it depends what kind of funnel they have to begin with. So why don't we dive into maybe the different kinds of funnels that we encounter a lot of the time and
Yeah,
which ones are good for what.
for sure, for sure. So the number one funnel that I see a lot of coaches using is just a, if they have a funnel set up, sometimes they don't even have a funnel, is just a landing page to book a call. And these funnels, we're not saying there's anything wrong with them. There's benefits to both sides. So we'll just kind of explain, we'll go over each of the funnels and then go into what the benefits are for them. So there's a landing page to book a call. And then what's the next funnel?
And then there's VSL funnel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what a VSL is, VSL stands for video sales letter. So an easier way to put this is a lot of times what you might see is people giving away a free masterclass or watch my webinar, but it's really an on-demand evergreen webinar. It's not actually live. Or watch my free training. Any of those things is probably it's a VSL that they've set up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then there's other funnels like low ticket, upsell funnels that people utilize. There's a bunch of other ones, technical names, but those are just the main few that we encounter a lot on a day-to-day basis. So getting back to the first one, just the landing page to book a call. This is best for if you don't have a lot of traffic. So there is not a lot of friction in this funnel. So people might fall through the cracks here, but there's no friction from getting from point A to point B. Whereas with these other funnels, like a VSL funnel or a low ticket upsell funnel, there is different steps to them actually reaching the conversion. So with that friction, you lose leads along the way.
Yeah,
But
so you're talking about friction a lot, and I want to kind of touch on that for maybe some people who aren't really, because this is important, and I see this so often with not even just on web pages, but the way people are trying to sell people in the DMs, automations they have set up. We were just talking about this other day with some of our, fellow funnel designers. We're always analyzing, we're always learning, and a key thing is friction. You want to
yeah.
be as frictionless as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of people really miss the mark there. So you can go into a little
Yeah.
bit more about what you mean by friction.
Yeah, exactly. So with friction, some people are like, I want the most complex, like I want the best prestigious funnel out there. And that isn't always the best solution. So friction to me is creating additional steps that your lead will have to take. And if someone has to do additional things, like let's say your routine in the morning, right? If you add on 10 different things to that routine, it's going to take you a lot more time to finish. And you might feel like, why is there so many things? Like, I don't want to do it. I just want to do a couple, right? So if you create that friction, people are less likely to take action. There's many different types of funnels out there. So Rocky, are all funnels created equal? Are there some better than others? What are your thoughts on that?
For sure, yeah. And well, to answer your question in short, no, not all funnels are created equal. That's probably pretty obvious. But of course, there's lots of different ways to build a funnel these days. And I'm sure probably one of the first things that y'all like popped into your head when we started talking about funnels and you realized what kind of funnels we were talking about is ClickFunnels. And that's by design. Russell Brunson did a fabulous job, marketing genius. Really, I got to give it to him. He was a marketing genius in the way he, advertised and kind of sold the story of ClickFunnels, and that's what everyone thinks when they think about building a funnel. Typically, maybe that's moving away now. But I do want to talk about it because ClickFunnels was great. It was great. I mean, people saw massive success, scaled their businesses to the moon, made millions and millions of dollars. And I just want to give it to them. Like, that's, and all they had to do was go on there and, change some things and boom, 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 success. But what worked back in 2018, sadly, doesn't work anymore because people have caught on. Now everyone and their mother is trying to build a funnel, and we're seeing that the trust that people once had with maybe a basic click funnel
Mm-hmm.
is lost,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not seeing the same success they once were. And Facebook is more likely to block you from running ads if they like sense that you have a ClickFunnels. Like you're really more likely to be like blocked as spam. So like a lot of things are starting to move against the grain to ClickFunnels success. And you might be asking, okay, so ClickFunnels, and there's other services too, they're popping up everywhere. There's all kinds of them out there, pre-built pages.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure you can even use Kajabi to build your pages too, right, Emily?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that kind of brings me to my next point, and that in order to stand out from all the noise and everyone else that's trying to sell online and is building their funnel, their web pages, yours has to look amazing, and it has to look completely different than everyone else's, and it
Mhm.
needs to look like it came from a luxury. I don't even know. Like it needs to look like top notch. It needs to
Well,
look like,
just
wow, who
yeah.
designed this?
And I think the main point that we're trying to get across is we don't want you to have a spammy looking funnel at all. We
Yep.
want your funnel, when someone comes across it, they actually have a good first impression. They feel like they can actually trust what you're trying to say. Um, like if I were to go to a funnel, for example, that is selling a handstand course and they're using ClickFunnels, I might already have this preconceived idea like this is a spam, right? Like
This is a scam.
this is a scam. And that's because I've seen other ClickFunnels that I've clicked on in the past and I've like opted into them and they took my money and it just didn't turn out well. And now I have these preconceived ideas, right? So if you are thinking, oh, should I go with ClickFunnels? Should I go with Kajabi or Wix? We just want you to keep that in your mind is build a funnel that people can, when they come across it, actually trust you and what you're saying. So how do you go about optimizing your funnel to make sure that it converts? What would you say
Yeah.
are some key things that people can focus on, maybe with design
Yeah,
specifically?
design specifically. Yeah, as far as optimizing your funnel when it comes to just the design standpoint of it, is again, yeah, you need to spend some time curating and getting good. If you're going to do it yourself, you need to read up on UI UX and more modern designs, and move away from a lot of the templates that are out there that are already kind of built for you. It needs to look clean, it needs to look easy on the
Yeah.
eyes, and it needs to look really professional.
Yeah,
Is
that's so
really
important to get across. And that's something that we genuinely want people to understand. Because when I was working with a client, he was selling a weight loss course. And so there's tons of weight loss courses out there, right? So how
oh
do you
yeah.
actually stand out in a crowd? He was using Kajabi for this funnel. And what he was saying is he was actually spending money on ads and sending it straight to a page, which is a whole other topic. But he was just not utilizing a really great built out funnel. He was using the features that they had for him. And if you're just a regular person hopping into ClickFunnels, Kajabi, or Wix, you're just going to think, okay, I can drag and drop here. I can drag and drop here. This is super easy. But then the finished result ends up being subpar. And we don't want that, right? We want your customer to have those good impressions. So what we did for him was we created a new funnel on a different platform called WordPress. And we were able to like just revolutionize the whole funnel. Did a different type of strategy, one that actually would get people's trust and actually qualify people so that when he was hopping on calls with them, like they actually wanted what he had to sell. So what we noticed is that after we implemented the new funnel, the old funnel was doing like it wasn't actually getting any results. Like it was getting like good amount of leads to a page, but it wasn't converting. Okay. And then what we did with this new strategy is the amount of people that were being sent into his funnel were less because it costed more for the objective of the ads, but he was actually getting conversions. So that is important for any strategy that you have. if you're seeing great results on the back end in Facebook, you're like, wow, my funnel is doing so well. I'm getting such great impressions, but you're not focusing on the ROI, then there's no point to it at all. And that's what we really
Yeah.
want to get across here is like, just make sure to focus on a good strategy. And then, yes, the design is going to help immensely.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that the last part there you talked about with, I say this all the time to people. If you're going to be sinking money into ads, we need to be thinking about what's your strategy after they click on your ad? What does that look like? And if you can't tell me that exactly what you're doing and have like a full-blown strategy, then you need to get that figured out ASAP, because I don't want people wasting money sinking into ads, getting, finding a winning creative, getting all these good impressions, and then they're not doing anything with it,
Yeah.
because it just doesn't matter how many people you get clicking on your ads, how good, all your numbers look on there. If you're not closing these people and walking through the rest of the process, the
Yeah.
ad, that initial click is the first part. And, a lot of time I say I'm everything post click. You know, I'll help you iron out your entire strategy post click, because that's really the part that, that matters a lot. Traffic, of course, I can't do anything unless you have traffic. But if you have traffic, especially ads, I mean, you need to be ironing that out and buttoning that up, and checking it twice. Like it needs to look perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I agree with as well. So it's just super important that you have a strategy going into funnels. And if you're trying to scale, if you have a current site, maybe you don't have one, I'd say just talk to someone who knows what they're doing in this space and make sure that you know your numbers. The data in your funnel is super important. And yeah, that's basically it.
And one more note that I just wanted to touch on that we haven't talked about a lot in this is scaling. If you're, I talk to people every day, and of course, I don't know what business owner really is out there and like doesn't want to scale. There are some, they're very content with where they're at, and they're like, yeah, this is where I wanted to be, and that's great. But I do talk to a lot of people, and they're like, yeah, like, do you think I can scale this? I want to scale, I want to get here, I want to get there, I want 50K months, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, I love that. And all I need to tell you is that if you want to scale, you need a fantabulous funnel and strategy in order to scale properly without like it just breaking on you, because you want a system that's going to be bulletproof past 100K months, and that you're going to be able to go in there, look at your data, and figure out, because as you scale, we all know scaling, you encounter new problems, bottlenecks in your business. It's just inevitable. I don't care what way you slice it. If someone promises you they can scale you without any trouble, just show them the door, because they're lying. They're just trying to tell you what they want to, what you want to hear. It's just impossible to scale without like, having some issues along the way. I'm sorry, but you've got to make sure that you got good data tracking and you have a solid funnel and a solid system in place that is scalable to those numbers that you want to, because it's going to make your life a whole hell lot easier. If I gave you like 5,000 leads tomorrow, do you have a system in place right now that would be able to sift through all those and get, I don't know, 500 sales out of that at least?
Yeah.
Do you have that? If the answer is no, then you need to get that ASAP if you want to scale. So.
Yep. Yep. That's a very important point. And with scalability, people might promise certain things, and we just recommend that you make sure, they know what they're talking about, make sure they have testimonials and people that are there to back them up and what they're saying. And with that being said, we really appreciate you all for tuning into this episode, to what we had to say about funnels. We hope that this was insightful for you and you got some value out of it. And make sure to look out for next week's episode where we talk about.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about ads and all little insights and tips and tricks we have on how you should be running your ads, who to look for to run your ads, some red flags, some green flags, and really what it takes and the budgeting you need to think about here, because we encounter a lot of people that just don't know these things. And it's just really going to help you to have some insights about some basics about what it takes to run ads, what my budget should look like, and what should I expect as far as my cost per call. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye.